Today I'm going to show you how I made this flag. To start with, I got a 1x12x8 and a 1x6x8 at Lowe's, and then I got the Minwax color stains. I'm going to start with cutting these to length and then ripping them down to 1.5 inches, and there should be enough in that one board to make all 13 slats that you need to make the flag. If you're wondering where I got my dimensions for this flag, I found this website called Omni Calculator. It's a flag calculator, so I just take and put my width of my stripes in there as 1.5, and it's going to tell me how long I need to cut my slats and how big my flag will be. So basically, to start with, I'm going to cut 13 slats at 1.5 inches wide and 37.5 inches long. I'm adding that 1/2 inch just in case I mess up on something. But it'll be 7 red stripes, 6 white stripes. I'm going to get those 13 cut. Okay, from the store, these will have a little bit of a rounded edge, so I'm just going to trim that edge off before I cut my slat so everything will be square, be easier for glue up. Okay, I got all my slats cut. I just kind of squared them up with this square. On that website, it'll tell you the size of your union. It'll say for this size it needs to be 10.5 by like 14 and 13/16. Now, I got on Amazon and I bought one of these templates, and it is 10.5 by 14 and 13/16. So all I'm going to do is just line it up here with the edges, and I'll mark it a line right there, and I know to stain blue on this side and red and white on this side. Before I stain it, I'm going to put some of this pre-stain on it, that way the stain will, it's supposed to work more evenly. Now that I got where my union goes marked out, I went ahead and just put a blue piece of tape on every stripe that's going to be red. That way I don't get confused. Now, to keep my stains from bleeding over on each other, where I've got this line, I'm just going to take a razor blade and tap it in on the line. That should keep the stain from bleeding over. So just line it up there and tap it in. As you can see, I just tapped it in there right on the line, about a 1/16 inch deep. But that'll keep the stain from bleeding from that side to that side. Alright, we got the pre-stain on. It dried. We sanded it down. Got my razor blades in here. I'm going to start on the blue. I went ahead and put 2 coats of stain on each board. I think it turned out pretty neat looking. While I was waiting for that to dry, I built this little jig here to just basically put a board there and a board there and squared it up and screwed it to a piece of plywood. Built this jig so I could clamp the boards down when I put them together. Okay, I'm going to take those boards and I'm just going to take it the way it's sitting and just flip it over, and I'm going to set it on that. Alright, now that I got them all in there, I got an extra slide I cut. I'm going to put right there, and I'm going to throw a couple of clamps across here to clamp them together, and then I'll throw a couple of 2x4s across here and clamp them down to keep them flat. So now that I got it clamped down, got it smashed together, and get a measurement for the height of it, which is 19 3/8. That's how tall the actual flag part is. So I'm going to cut 4 slats, 19 3/8 by 2 inches wide. Slats cut, and what I did was I measured to the center and I measured 5 inches out on each side of it. so I can space these 10 inches apart in the middle. That's because I'm going to put a French cleat here to hang it on the wall. And then the outside pieces will go just on the very edge. Flip it back over. I'm going to install a French cleat right here. That way we can hang it on the wall. Let me just make sure I've got my 10 inches here for it. So what I'm going to do is take what was left over from the 2x12 and install a French cleat up here, and then I'm going to make the piece that goes to the wall pretty tall. That way you can just center this thing up on a stud and put 2 screws in it like that, and then hang it, and it should hold it up. A French cleat is nothing more than a board cut in half at a 45. You'll mount one side of the 45 to the wall, and in this case the other side will go to the flag, and when you hang it on the wall it just kind of wedges it on. Pretty simple. So I forgot to turn the camera on. But anyways, you'll mount this one to the wall, and this will be out. This will be the wall side. And then this will go on the back of the flag, and just wedge on there like that. Put this on the same way I did the slats. A little monkey glue and some 1 1/4" brad nails. Now when you mount this to the wall, that thing just hangs on it, man. It won't go nowhere. Now I have to put the stars on. Now I was going to carve these. As you can see, I can carve them. I did that one. I need more practice on it. I've only carved about 1, 2, 3, 4 stars. And I just don't like the way the natural wood looks with this white stain. So I think my option is that I like is just to paint it. So I'm just going to lay the stencil on there and spray paint the stars on. I know it's kind of the easy escape route, but I think that's what I like the looks of the best for this flag. Alright, I got it all. I got the stencil down, I got everything covered up. Fingers crossed I don't get any bleed through, overspray on anything. I'm just going to take a bunch of light passes so hopefully it doesn't bleed underneath the stencil anywhere. We'll put a piece of tape over that hole right there. Don't want a white dot on it. So 1 out of 50. Got really kind of screwed up. That one bled over a little bit too, but other than that, not too bad. I got in a rush. It's my fault. I just started spraying. So Should have took more time on it, but I'll see if what I can't do to fix that one. Now you can stop right there with this build and just spray some clear coat on it, but I'm gonna take what's left of my 1x6 and rip it down to 1 3/4 strips and make a frame to go around this. I ended up cutting these just a hair under 1 3/4. It's more like 1 11/16. Now that I got them sanded, I'm gonna stain them with this Minwax dark walnut. Frame stained, I'm just going to glue it on and hold it on with the brad nails. If you notice, I don't stain the bottom section of this, is because I'm going to glue it to the wood on the side of this. Now that I got the frame all on it, I took a clean rag and wiped it off. Took my air gun and tried to blow as much dust off of as I could. And I'm going to put 3 coats of this satin lacquer on it. Show you what I come up with. These are the measurements for the flag. That's what I use for the French cleat. You can make that any size you want. That's what I used for the frame. And here's the complete material list of everything that I used. Alright, I got my cleat mounted on the wall. You can see that I wrote out on it. It says out, and that's the angle of the 45. there's the finished product. I think it turned out pretty cool. I do like the frame around it versus not having anything around it at all. Thanks for watching.